Hi, and welcome to the Homeschool family. In today's video, I wanted to talk to you about our daily schedule we had last year for our kindergartner, and also how we built a daily schedule for multiple kids, because my kindergartner schedule was definitely affected by the fact that I had to be available for my older son. I have this daily schedule hanging on a wall inside of the sheet protector. That way every day it's easy to just flip a page and show the next day. So my daughter only sees one day at a time and she knows exactly what we have planned for today. So we would usually start school around 9 a.m. and my older son would work individually on his math while I worked on language arts with my kindergartner. And that usually composed of calendar time, 5 in a row, which is a literature-based program, and Logic of English, which was phonics and reading program. After that, around 10 o'clock, both of my kids would have a movement break. And then around 10:30, we would move on to history for both of my kids. History is definitely a subject that required my help for both of my kids. That's why we decided to do it family style. For that, we used History Quest middle times. My kindergartner definitely wasn't ready for a full history curriculum, so we actually stopped using it after a short while. After that, around 11 o'clock, my older son would work on typing, coding, or emotional intelligence, while my kindergartner was working on math. For math, we mostly used Math UC Primer. After that would be lunch break, and then we would move on around noon, while my older son would work on language arts, which required my presence. My kindergartner would watch some educational videos. And for that, I made a YouTube playlist just for her, where I put all kinds of different educational videos, and she was only allowed to watch shows off of that playlist. Around 1 p.m., it was science time. And since both of my kids really enjoy science, we do science every day. Again, science we did mostly family style. However, after a short while, my kindergartner was getting bored, and then my son would still keep working on science individually. So for that, we mostly used Generation Genius or Mystery Science. They would work on that together, and then once my kindergartner was done with that, my older son would still work on chemistry with Science Mom, while my kindergartner would just have free time to play. Usually it was Play-Doh or some other hands-on type game that she could play quietly. After science, around 2 p.m., we would work family style again on a foreign language. And since I speak Polish fluently, this is what I would be working with my kids. We would just sit and do some worksheets or just speak Polish together. Last thing we always did was the most fun. So it would be music or art. If it would be art, then they would work on it together. If it would be music, it was mostly my older son playing piano or guitar, and my kindergartner would be done for the day. She would just go play. The only thing I didn't mention would be reading, and we always read before bedtime for about an hour. My son usually reads on his own, while I read books to my kindergartner. So let me just show you this visual schedule I made for my kindergartner, and we'll go day by day to show you exactly how it changed from each day of the week. I printed it out black and white because my printer only prints black and white, but feel free to definitely print it color because it would make so much more special for your child. On Mondays, we would start with calendar time, then we worked on Logic of English, explored the code, then they would have a movement break, which is the trampoline, then social studies history quest, Math UC Primer. After that, she would work on 5 in a row, then educational videos. For science, we would work in Thinkeractive worksheets. I have a whole separate video about Thinkeractive workbooks, so check out that video if you want to know more about it. Then self-play, which is Play-Doh, Polish language, and reading in the evening. Tuesday looks very similar. We always start with the calendar time, then Logic of English. we work in kindergarten workbook by the thinking tree instead of explore the code. Then movement break. Instead of history, we would do geography. Then we work on Tinkeractive math workbook instead of Math UC. On Tuesday, we always do poetry tea time, so we would work on that. Then educational videos. For science, we would do Generation Genius. Then self-play, foreign language, and reading again. On Wednesday, we start with calendar time, logic of English. Then we would do Prodigy Math or English, movement break, history quest, Tinkeractive English, educational videos, Generation Genius for science, playtime, Polish language, and reading. On Thursday, we would work on jotted down writing program by the Brave Writer. Then movement break. Then we would work on kindergarten morning bins by the Muffet Girls. Then more math worksheets by Muffet Girls. Then 5 in a row. Educational videos, playtime, and foreign language. Friday is our co-op day when we usually meet up with our friends. So our school day is definitely shorter. So we start with 5 in a row, then work on some geography by traveling the world with the Waldock Way. We would also work on social studies using Hooray for the USA book, and then we would go meet up with our friends. Our schedule is definitely more of a daily rhythm. We don't necessarily stick to the actual times. I did put the times there just to help me out to plan how much time each activity should take. Most of the time it does not take that long. So if I schedule an hour for language arts or science, it doesn't necessarily have to take us that long. But if it does, then we have still plenty of time to not fall behind the schedule and still get stuff done. This schedule might seem like there's so many hours for a kindergartner, but in reality, there's so many breaks built into this schedule that the actual work doesn't really take that long. We had many of those days when she just wanted to be done as fast as possible, and she just told me, "Mom, just give me all of it at once. I just want to get this done." And then she literally could be done in 30 minutes if she really wanted to. So that's what our daily schedule, daily rhythm looked like. If you have any questions about the curriculums we used in this schedule, check out this video about the curriculums we use for kindergartner. And don't forget to like and subscribe this channel if you want to see more videos like it.